Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that feels into the energy. This is your weekly energy reading where we talk all about what you need to know about what's going on here in the weekly collective energy, the energy that impacts each and every one of us, and how you can make the most of it, because it really becomes an energy hack, right? It gives you a sense of what's happening with the energy and how you can use it to your benefit. So this is something that's for everyone, and so many of you feel into these energies, are impacted by these energies, and so you can use these videos in order to have your most successful week. And I make one every single week, so it's something that I encourage you all to connect with. How are you guys feeling in this energy? Are you noticing the shifts that are happening? Are you noticing how this energy is lightening up? And I do feel like even last week, the energy was very light, very beautiful, very positive, very supportive in helping us to create and develop the things that we're wanting to create and develop. However, there was an intensity to the energy, right? It had a little kickback to it. And not necessarily because of a heaviness or a negative energy. It was more like we were dealing with the integration of some massive energies. Many of you guys have shared posts, have shared statuses about seeing the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. And it's all connected with that. It's all connected with what we had going on with all of the solar flares. I don't know, some of you guys, hopefully a lot of you guys follow those things, because I find it really, really helpful to have an understanding of what's going on with the solar energy, what's going on with the Schumann frequency, with the Schumann energy. That is essentially the energy of the earth. What's happening with all of those, what's happening with the solar storms and all of that, because when we're aware of that, we can be aware of when that is really ramped up. So we saw toward the end of last week and over the weekend, that was especially at the end of last week, I think it was Thursday and Friday, the solar energy was wild. So how are you feeling during that time? That'll tell you how you respond to these energies. So I typically can tell when we're getting a lot of solar energy, solar activity, because I start to get sort of fluttery in my heart. I start to feel what seems to be an anxious feeling in my body. And I start to have difficulty with focus, more so than usual. And I start to feel like I've had a lot of caffeine. And so that was how I was responding to the energy. But how are you guys feeling? Because it's mixed and it's different, right? You might have been feeling more tired. You might have felt like all of your energy was zapped. There's so many different ways that we experience it. So it's important to have an awareness of that and to tune in with yourself, to tune in with your body, which is your greatest intuitive tool. It's always giving us information about the energy that we're processing, and knowing that so that you can start to recognize when this stuff is happening. When we recognize that this stuff is happening, then we have this tendency to not take it on in the same way, right? Instead of ending my week last week feeling like, man, this energy is so intense, and seeing that in a negative way, I was able to recognize that what's happening when we have these solar flares is that we're processing a lot of light, which is a very, very good thing. We are allowing our bodies to receive more and more and more light. And so I posted about it on my Facebook and in my Instagram stories, but we had so many X flares. And X flares used to be pretty, the solar flares at that level, very uncommon. And now we're getting them left and right. There's been a lot of those. And so that's been really significant. We've gotten a lot of M level flares, which are a level lower than that. Also, just like rapid fire, we're getting so many of those. So long story short, we're receiving and processing a lot of energy, which is a very good thing. It's supporting the planet in ascending, but it can feel incredibly intense. So just tune in with yourself and think about how you felt during that time, what you noticed during that time. That's going to tell you a lot about how you respond to these kinds of energies and help you to recognize it when it's happening in the future. Also, make sure that you follow me on my Instagram, on my Facebook, because I do talk about that stuff when I notice that it's really intense and when it's happening, so that you guys have some sense of what's going on with all of that. But this energy is also moving us forward, right? It almost feels like it took our motor and just like helped us to charge forward in a faster way. And so I think that we're going to find that things are developing, things are moving more quickly, happening more quickly. I've been talking about how May is very like slow and steady energy, and it is, but I think it's like the motor has been increased. The pace at which things are moving is now increasing, and I really feel like that energy did that for us and provided that for us. It feels overall very positive. It feels like it's moving us in the right direction. But with every energy, we have, every week that we're here on earth, we have different energies that are available to us. And so there's a broad spectrum of different energies that we can choose to tune into. So we can choose to tune into heavier, lower frequency energy, or we can choose to say, you know what, this energy here in May, which I feel like this is so true, is very, very magical, very lucky, very supportive of my best life path. I'm going to choose to tune my radio dial to that energy, to this positive energy, to this ease that is available to me, to this light that is available to me. And I think that if you can intentionally do that throughout this week, it's really going to serve us. And also just thinking about the kinds of energies that we're allowing ourselves to surround ourselves with. I've had this conversation a lot recently where people are feeling like their vibration has raised significantly, and it's starting to make them more and more aware of the things that lower their frequency, right? What situations do you leave? What interactions do you leave feeling like your energy has been tanked? What foods do you eat that you feel like negatively impact the way that you feel? So all of this is important. And I very much, when I connected with this energy, felt like the universe this week, God this week, whatever you want to call that, is really going to be a life coach for us, right? So what does a life coach do? A life coach challenges us in terms of showing us where we need to grow and how we need to do better. But it's going to cheer us on the whole way, right? It's going to challenge us, but also is going to encourage us to make the changes that we need to make in order to be better, to continue to improve. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity here in this energy for us to improve upon ourselves, to make ourselves that much better. We've been doing a lot of work. We've been growing a lot through all of this. And it's really saying, how can I continue to grow and be that much better? So I think that part of that is just going to be, it's going to be showing us like what changes we need to make, whether that's in our vibrational diet, the people that we surround ourselves with, the foods that we eat, the media that we consume, that kind of stuff, the things that we put our energy into. I think it's going to really highlight that for you. So I would pay attention to like what feels ick, what doesn't feel good when I do it, especially if I'm noticing that for extended periods of time that really seem to impact my energy in a negative way. So paying attention to those kind of things, paying attention to the things that we're feeling like, I would choose at least one thing. I think that at least one thing this week is going to be highlighted for us in terms of a change that we need to make, whether something is just a distraction for us. You might find that this week you're being called to cut one thing out, or maybe it's several things as well. But what's one thing that you can cut out from the things that you're investing your time and your energy into that isn't really serving you? Maybe your ego likes it, but isn't really serving you. And what do you want to replace that? So we're gonna get rid of one thing and we're gonna add one thing in, right? So we're gonna use that time in a more effective way. And I really feel like this week we're going to be guided and shown as to what that is. Right? So for example, you may find that while it feels good in the moment to spend a lot of time binging TV shows, you may find that you're feeling called to like cut back on that this week? And what are you going to replace that with? Maybe you're feeling called to listen to some podcasts that provide you with information that you're needing to learn, or you're wanting to read some books, or you're wanting to take that time and dedicate that to spending time with some people that you love, some people that raise you up, that light you up, and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the energy that I get, like taking a look at what's just a distraction for you, clearing that out, and what do I want to replace that with that's going to be better. I really feel like that's going to be highlighted this week. I would love to hear from you guys. Like, are you noticing what that is for you already? Is that already being shown to you? For me, it's like just like allowing myself to be distracted. So it's not even necessarily one specific thing, but I just kind of getting lost in my thoughts. And so I'm being called to be a little bit more task oriented this week, to make sure that I'm getting the things done that I need to be getting done. So giving up one thing and adding something new in. I also feel like it's this energy of like, how do I just keep taking one step forward? How do I keep moving in the direction of where I want to be? Movement is feeling really important this week. This week feels incredibly lucky to me. It feels like a lot of things are going to be popping off in a good way, like things like happening, things aligning. And so our job is to make movement, to create movement wherever that is that we're feeling called, and that's going to be important. The other part of this energy that I think is key to highlight is I've been talking for a while about how we're different now, how we've been working on ourselves, how there have been a lot of things that we've worked on changing. And now this week is really going to call us to get to know the new us. And I say the new us, it's not really a new us, it's a more authentic version of ourselves as we get to know ourselves more and more, and get to see what we like now, what we don't like now, what we want now, what we don't want now. I think there's this whole exploration that's happening right now. And so allowing that process, but I think that a lot of things are going to be highlighted for us, getting to know ourselves, and things might be happening that are helping to support that. You might find that you're recognizing, oh, I tried this new thing out and that felt really good. I really like that. I didn't know that was something I even liked. Or you may find that there are aspects of yourself that are coming out now that surprise you about yourself. But we've uncovered so much. We've released so much bullshit from the masks that we wear, the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we are living, and it's so much more real and authentic now. And so there's this process of like just getting to know ourselves and letting ourselves be shown what that looks like. So your job is to pay attention. Like, oh, I learned something new about myself today. Some of you guys know I've been taking astrology classes, and my teacher over the course of the weekend read something from my chart that if I didn't believe astrology was real before, now I really believe it. Like, it was so accurate, so specific, and also at the same time helped me to understand something about myself. So that's just like an example of that. But actually there was a lot of things that she said that were like, okay, but this is like a better use of you and how you show up in the world and how you were created to be. So it's stuff like that where I want you to like notice, like, where are you being called to show up in the world in a way that's different but feels like a better use of you and how you were created to be. And I think that we're going to be guided with that. I think that we're going to be shown that. And through this process, I think like this week, if you're not already there, I just feel like some things are clicking where we're just making a decision like, yeah, I'm moving forward with this. I'm moving forward with this level up. I'm taking it to the next level. I'm calling in my blessings. I'm now ready to step into something even better for myself. So it's like there's this decision that I think is going to click in for many of us this week, if this hasn't already happened for you, where it's like, you know what? I'm leveling up with this. I'm moving forward with this. So there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of blessings and a lot of positive things that we're going to see happening for us. So are you guys seeing some of this already while I'm shuffling the cards? I would love to see what's going on. By the way, thank you guys. I see a lot of you guys are here live. I'm here much earlier than usual. So I have to leave a little earlier than usual today, so we're doing this at a different time. Wow, this is like rapid fire. These cards are jumping out right now. But how are you? Are you learning new things about yourself? Are you noticing new things about yourself where it's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm different in that way now, or I guess I like that now, or I guess I'm interested in that now. Or just opportunities to understand. You might have people reflect things back to you. That makes sense? Or are you noticing what are your things that you're feeling called to change? What's your one thing that you're feeling called to give up? What's your one thing that you're feeling like you want to add in? Start to make some changes. The universe is definitely going to show that to us. Let me know. What are you feeling called to move on this week? What is moving for you? We're now officially out of that Mercury retrograde post shadow, which I think is helpful. I think like that's feeling lighter and lighter. And again, I think like a lot of luck and a lot of positive things happening here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, one more card here. And then we will dive into the cards. So the cards will build on the messages that we talked about. Well, no. I had a card come out, but it doesn't feel like it's the right card. So we're not going to go with it. Oh yeah, that makes way more sense. Okay. All right. So, very fiery energy this week, right? Are you feeling like the universe is, as your life coach, lighting a fire underneath you, saying, this is what we need to do. It's time to get your shit together this week, right? I feel like we're going to kind of have that drive and that motivation to get our shit together this week, or feel that push to get our shit together this week. And how we're starting with that is temperance, right? We're bringing balance into things. And so maybe as you're deciding, what do I need to change? What needs to be different? What am I being shown needs to change so that I can better myself? I can improve upon myself. This is about bringing that balance in. So what do I need to temper in my life, right? Maybe I need to work on how I manage my emotions, my anger. What do I need to work on in terms of how I'm managing my finances? How I'm, am I allowing certain habits to take over my life in such a way that it's not serving me in a positive way anymore? And what do I need to do about it, right? This is about bringing that balance into your life. It's about alchemy as well, right? The temperance I've been talking about, this is the year of alchemy. This is the year where we take the experiences that we've had and we use them in a positive way, even more so than we ever have. And so I see us doing that here in this energy. It's like, okay, so this is where I'm at. How am I going to make the most of it? How am I going to make the best of it? How am I going to use it in a way that is a positive thing for me? We also have the Judgment card, right? We're making some important decisions this week. And the Judgment card is usually about the decision to close out a cycle and to allow ourselves to level up, right? Because the card after that is the World card, and that is that decision to level up. Or the Judgment card is the decision to level up, and then the World card is that further movement before we get right back to the beginning of the tarot, which is the Fool. So the Judgment, the decision to level up, and that's exactly what I was saying. It's like this awareness, you know what? I'm taking this to the next level. And I think that a lot of us are making that decision, and I encourage you to make that decision in whatever way you're feeling motivated to take it to the next level in a way that honors you, that honors everyone else, but making that choice, making that decision. And it's an important choice, right? We can't create it if we haven't decided it, if we aren't allowing that to happen for ourselves. We are choosing to step into our power, the Emperor, right? Where are you feeling called to step into your power? Where you're feeling called to lead? I was saying that in my astrology class, she was going through my chart and very much was challenging me and saying, it's time for you to step into your power that much more. You have all of this power that's like underneath the surface that you're not tapping into, and it's time. And that was like a huge part of what she was saying. And I feel like this is also collective energy, where it's like, what parts of yourself that are powerful that you're not accessing or that you're not utilizing to its fullest? And can we let this light our fire? Can we let this drive us? Can we let this drive the work that we're doing, the changes that we're making, the path that we're on? You hear, I don't know if you guys can hear that horn in the background, right? But that's like just emphasizing the message. It's like an exclamation point for that. So it's time to step into our power. It's time to become the better version of ourselves. It's time to take all of this learning and alchemize it into something better, right? Because the other option is to stay focused in a victim mentality, and that's not who we are, right? We are warriors, and we are ready for the things that are coming in, because there's some really, really beautiful things that are coming in. We're ready to step into that leadership role. So where are you feeling called to lead? Where are you feeling called to take your power back? Where are you feeling called to step further into your power? And where are you feeling, Page of Wands, inspired? What are you feeling excited about? That excitement is going to drive your journey. We no longer live in a time where we get to ignore our soul. Or if you choose to ignore your soul, it's going to get harder and harder for you to numb it, ignore it, not face it, right? And all your soul really wants is what brings it joy, what brings it excitement, what brings it happiness, true happiness, not like that fake happiness that you get when you buy something new at the store and that happiness lasts for 10 minutes, right? It's not that. It's like true, real happiness. What truly excites you, and following the path of that. And this may require us to be bold, to be brave. This is a very bold energy this week. Where are you feeling called to be bold? Where are you feeling called to push past the bullshit of your fear that wants to hold you back every step of the way? And instead, lean into the Page of Wands is like a childlike excitement. It's this excitement where it's like, I want to do it just because it's fun. I want to do it just because it's exciting. I decided last year that I was going to stop saying yes to things that don't feel exciting to me, that I was going to be done with that. And that I was only going to say yes to the things that felt fun, that felt exciting. And because of that, life has felt so much more fun. I stopped feeling like I had to do things just because I felt obligated to do so. And I think that that's it, is like choosing to do the things and to head in the directions that light us up, that excite us, that are because we want to be doing them, because it feels good, because it lights a fire in our soul. And that's so important for us to be listening to that right now. The next card, Six of Swords. I think I pulled this last week too, right? There's this movement out of the challenge. I've been talking for a little while about how we're leaving the battleground behind, right? We're stepping into ease. We're stepping into, if we choose it, allowing for things to get lighter, allowing for things to get better. And that's not to say that the world doesn't keep happening around us and that there isn't ever challenge, because that wouldn't be Earth, right? But we can choose what we engage in. We can choose what we allow, and we're allowing ourselves, ideally anyway, to be moved into lighter energy, into better energy. And that's going to require you to be mindful about what you are engaging your energy in, right? Again, like I was talking about at the beginning, what is your vibrational diet? What are you focusing your thoughts on, your energy on, your time on, all of those things. But if we can choose to let this energy move us into a time of more ease, where there's less hustle and more flow, I think that we're going to find that we're going to really be supported in this. We're moving out of hardship in so many ways. Again, if we choose it, but if we're continuing to ignore the callings of our soul, the ways that we're being challenged, the ways that we're being stretched, I think that we could miss it, right? Because a lot of us are going to want to just stay put in our comfort zone because that's what we're used to. But is it even really a comfort zone? I say this all the time. It's probably not really. It's probably actually quite uncomfortable because your soul wants to go over here. Your soul wants to go on an adventure. Your soul wants to have experiences that light it up, that fulfill it, that really, truly nurture it. Whereas your fear, your ego, wants to keep you stuck and standing still in the same place. So allowing this process, and that brings us to the last card that makes perfect sense with what I just said, the Two of Wands. The willingness to leave our comfort zone, to get out there, to explore, to have new experiences, to have new adventures, to be willing to leave behind what we have always known, to step into the unknown, but also the very exciting. To move into the adventure that is life. And I've been feeling this for quite some time. Like, can we make and allow life to be more of an adventure? Can it be more fun? Can it be more lighthearted? Can we stop taking ourselves so seriously and find a way to enjoy it all? This all ends, right? Are you going to enjoy it while you have it here? And what are you creating? What are you doing to support the path that you want to be on? This is not a week where you want to be wasting your time. This is not a week where you want to just kind of let things get lost in the shuffle. Use this energy to make yourself better, to grow yourself, to grow the things that you're working on, to grow the things, the energy around the things that you're wanting to manifest, that you're wanting to create. It's time to take the bull by the horns, right? We're still in Taurus season. That's the bull, right? Take the bull by the horns. Let it drive you where you need to be going, and make sure that you're letting yourself be shown the actions that you need to be taking and the changes that you need to be making. So those are your messages here for this week. If you guys made it this far, please hit that like button. Please comment if you feel called to, or share this with somebody that needs to hear these messages. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching this on my Facebook, please swing by my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. I always get excited when I get new subscribers. It's really fun to watch that grow. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you. I always love to hear from you in comments. I always love to hear where you are. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon with another video. I love you, and I hope that you make the most of this, because this is some really magical energy, and luck is going to be on your side as you bet on yourself. All right, take care, guys. Bye.